Hello, everybody. I hope you are having a great start to 2023. We are here for yet another website and brand breakdown walkthrough. Let's see what they're shaking with, what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. Let's dive in. So today we have an up-and-coming water company. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them. If you're not, this is Gen Z Water. I'm sure you can tell who their target market is. Gen Z. They do some things that are cool. I love their website. We'll get into a couple other things that they do well. A few things that they could improve on, but all in all, this is a well-executed brand website. A good example for you guys to model off of if you're out there starting a brand or you're working on your website. So let's dive in now. It was crazy that I found this company. I tweeted a couple of weeks ago. I was like, what happened to the kind of charming, authentic web design that we saw in the 90s, And I know it was early internet, so their technical capabilities were a little bit limited, but we have Domino's Pizza, for example, here. We have Pepsi. I don't know, it might be a little hard to see. We have Disney, and I had Coca-Cola's. I'm not sure where it went, but these websites were really, really fun, really authentic, really charming. What happened is a lot of websites nowadays, and you're starting to see it make a comeback. I think that it's going to become more prevalent as we move forward out of this era of minimalism. Everybody had that flat logo design. I know there are reasons for that, one of which being mobile web design. Sometimes the screens are so small it doesn't fit or support all of this intricate design. But a company that's doing things really well kind of has that vintage, I won't say vintage, but a lot of these websites were built on Flash. Flash got ushered out. And now we're working with what we have here today. So without further ado, this is Gen Z Water, and they pick up where all these websites that I just showed you left off. They have that 90s aesthetic, as we'll see we get in here. Super quirky, fun design. It's interesting. I don't know if they saw what Liquid Death was able to do, and they were like, let's hop on the bandwagon. But water, beverages for that example there, it's a very saturated market. So I hope to God they knew that when they were starting. There's no way they didn't. They did everything really well, but water is very saturated. So start off on the homepage here, a really basic hero section we got going on here. Super fun, quirky. This is going to grab your attention if you get on for this is very different from a lot of other websites that you see out there today, from the use of gifts they have, this 3D aspect, to just like there's so many disjointed pieces here, and it kind of does feel like that 90s aesthetic. It's very busy, not minimal at all, over the top, fun, but if you do it right, which I think these guys did, comes off as very charming and authentic. So let's dive in here. Welcome to the best Gen Z Water website in the world. This website was built to sell Gen Z Water and make friends online. Please enjoy your visit. So as we get going here, you'll notice they have a lot of different features that are found on those retro websites, mainly in the footer, which you'll see in a second. But let's keep scrolling. So again, really simple, really clean, really well done. It's hard. It's pretty hard to get clean and busy usually don't go together. I think what they did here is they merged it perfectly into an experience that is true to who they are, who they're targeting, that TikTok Gen Z customer. So let's keep scrolling on here. The best water on earth. We'll get onto the product pages in a second here. They have links to their social media. So this is clean. And again, not all of these gifts are relevant to what they have. Like, this designs that are on the package, you'll see some of these gifts here, but other things are just like straight up silly, which I think feeds into some of their ethos, is what they are, what they stand for, which is really well executed here. We've seen too much, not a lot of info here, but just another addition to the scroll. We have a good little email capture. Again, this is much different than what you see on a lot of websites. It's not a little clean section on the bottom that says sign up to join our mailing list. It just says, it does say that, but the way they do it is not like you see on a lot of other websites. It's very, very true to their 90s ethos and their aura. So under construction, working on something cool here. electronic message portal. So again, another spot to enter your email. I don't know why they have two. Maybe this is just more for like customer complaints or questions or concerns. They can come on in here. And we have where they're featured. I don't know how they're featured in SpaceX, maybe in the headquarters, but again, they kind of threw away with a lot of the best design practices that you'll see today. And they made it authentic to if this were in the 90s. You know, I'm sure if you were to open this thing up 20 years ago, you would have said, wow, this is really cool. But it fit in with a lot of the websites that you see from that era. This is one of my favorite parts down here. So if we click this little button down here, we see this, will you accept Sally's rose? Which I think is really funny and really well done. It's just goofy, you know, if you're a teenager or a young adult scrolling and you see this, you get on their website, this is going to stick with you. You know, you want to make sure when you're designing websites that you have features that are going to stick with people, whether it's through the design or certain sections in your website that are really going to capture attention and stick with people long after they visit. You can do that a couple of different ways. This is a great example of an interactive kind of feature on a website. Something you're seeing emerge now is more 3D design on product pages. So, 3D renders of a product, you can spin it around, zoom in. That works really well. In the past, there have been product customizers. What else? I think that's it. You know, AR pictures. There's some websites, furniture, for example, where you click on the item and you can open it in AR if you have an iPhone or a front camera and see how it would look in your space. So there's a lot of opportunity there to make your website more than, you know, just a basic scroll of information. You really want to create an experience. So down here, you know, these are all GIFs they have, true to a lot of the kind of signage that you would see on old websites. You know, this I am online, made with Macintosh, McDonald's. And it's funny too. So the reason you don't see a lot of websites like this anymore, also because of the advancements in technology, but a lot of these Adobe Flash type websites is because Steve Jobs actually did not make Apple computers or the, you know, Mac OS compatible with Flash because it was just too clunky and slow to his standards. So that's why I don't remember when it happened. I think early 2010s got ushered out. So a little bit of knowledge for you. Now let's hop on to their product page. So right here, again, it falls in line with the theme they have of just being very in your face, just authentic to the 90s. You know, this is fun, quirky design. I don't know how else to say that. I'm sure even if you weren't in design or kind of in this realm, you would be able to tell who this is targeting. You know, I don't know many 50-year-olds, I'm sure they're out there, that would see this and go, this appeals to me. So, you know, they're positioning well in that regard. The only differentiation they have among their products, you know, I don't see any flavored options. It really is in the form of these bottles that they have. And when I got on here, I didn't really understand what was going on too much because, you know, it's just a water bottle, aluminum water bottle. But that is one of the selling points that they have here. You don't really see it. Something that they should do, in my opinion, is so if we go over here on the FAQ page and they go to, is the bottle refillable? They're kind of positioning it like not only are you getting water, but you're also getting this cool, hip kind of hydro flask. They only say you can use it for 8 uses. Oh, a Gen Z bottle and a reusable bottle. So I don't know if that's a really strong selling point. If you're a water snob, you know, all you really care about is where the water is coming from, where it's being sourced from, and probably that it's not in a plastic bottle, which they have here. That, you know, it's in aluminum, but I don't really know how strong of a selling point that is for most consumers. I could be completely wrong. Maybe it's a good angle to take, but when I looked into it, just, you know, it wasn't the strongest. A bottle you can refill, you know, a very well done basic product page, falls in line with that 90s design we were talking about here. They seem to be out of stock right now. Right here is a really good example of something that they did. I mentioned earlier, you know, you can use 3D in the product pages, other parts of the website, it works really well for the product page. This is not a high fidelity render of the bottle, which is what you'd see on a lot of other websites, but because they're positioned in that 90s sort of angle, it doesn't matter that this is a little blurry, a little blotchy. It's a good addition. Width of a seagull's bicep. All right. So again, they're just straight up being goofy here, which works well, especially with that younger demographic. Did you like the water? The critters want to know. All right. So there probably should be some box right here that says, let's refresh the page and just see if it didn't load on that. Yeah, there should be a review section right here. I don't know why this isn't showing up. When Sally brings some music, the grotto gets down, but not everyone is here to party. There's some things this website, I just don't know why they're there. Maybe this is a reference that's flying over my head, but if it flew over my head, it'll probably fly over the younger generation's head too. You know, it's just like, why is this here? What purpose does this serve? And the GIFs and the design do a really good job at being goofy. I don't know why this is here. And the footer section is the same on all pages. So let's hop on to another product page here. So that was the ocean design. Let's see what they have here. Welcome to the grotto. So here's another, all right, so you can buy this one. I swear there was a review section when I looked at this a couple of days ago. I don't know what happened to it. If they saw that I was coming on here. If I'm the reason for that, I hope not. I'm just joking. Yeah, I don't know. The product pages are basic. I don't really think people are buying D2C. You know, they're not buying water on e-commerce or through this website. If they are on Amazon, I'm not sure if it said they were. They are in gas stations, but the interesting thing here that I saw, so you can locate where this water is. I think they're sourced in Texas, so it makes sense to be, you know, in Texas. But you know, this is a pretty millennial, Gen Z, over the top, flashy sort of product, and I don't know if people in Arkansas and Oklahoma are going to be on that wave, if you know what I mean. So it is interesting that this is where they are. I know they're also out in LA, which makes a lot more sense than being in, this isn't the deep South, but you know, definitely a little bit more towards the South. So a little interesting about where they are located. I'm sure they're just doing tests right now to see. I would have expected, you know, New York and some other spots, but who am I to say that? Help me sell my water. Please give your info here so we can pitch more Gen Z water to retailers near you. All right, so this is kind of a good section here to get into some more brick and mortar locations, which is where a lot of their volume will probably come from when it comes to sales. And the FAQ page, you know, good copywriting here. Is this a real is this a real website, a real product? Yes, this is. You know, so again, they're just falling in line with that goofy sort of narrative that they've created here. And something that they really need to do better, I think, if I were the owners or if I was running the strategy for this brand, is I would put more of an emphasis on the fact that, you know, you can reuse these bottles, that they're also kind of a decorative piece. They don't really do a good job of that on the product pages. It's just like, all right, well, it's water, and what else? You know, it's hard to differentiate in the water space. Liquid Death has done it well. I'm sure I'll do a video on them sometime in the near future. But this is what we got for Gen Z Water. And then just taking a quick look at their social media, you know, it falls in line. This is super easy, the way that they've positioned themselves to get content for, because all you need to do is fit it into that kind of early internet 90s aesthetic. And looks like that is exactly what they have done. So that's really everything I have here today. Thank you for watching the video, for tuning in. Let me know too if I missed something. I'm curious to see, you know, message me or leave a comment down below as to what your thoughts are on this brand. I'm always curious to see like what people think. I know my views and perspectives are, you know, this is creative stuff. So everybody's going to have a little bit different of an opinion and a viewpoint. So feel free to interact with that. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Thank you for tuning in. Watch out for another video coming either late this week, early next week, but we're going to keep these consistent in 2023. I have a lot of fun doing these, and I hope you guys can learn some things while I'm walking through. Have a good one. 2023 is your year. Go crush it.